Hi, Boosh here, just with a quick visual guide for the Visceral Whirl mechanic that occurs throughout the new Zeromus extreme. It's not too punishing if you mess up once or twice, since you only get Von stacks. However, if you're messing up frequently, those can really start to add up and really pressure your healers. So hopefully, with the help of this guide, you'll be able to figure out what it is you need to look for to correctly identify the safe spots. So with that said, the first part of this mechanic is fairly straightforward. The boss cleaves a rear diagonal half of the arena and then cuts the remaining front diagonal half in two, leaving a rear safe spot and a front safe spot. So here the front safe spot is to the right. This of course can be mirrored, leaving a front left safe spot. So for the purposes of this video, these are the two safe spots we're interested in, the front left and front right. We'll come back to those later. The difficult part of this mechanic is the follow-up. So after he does the initial cleaves, there will be 3 of these little X's left on the ground, and they will explode in a pattern like this. These X's can be in any of these 9 possible spots. However, there are only a fixed number of patterns in which they can be arranged. Namely, there are 6 of them. So if we take an example pattern, these will explode as shown, leaving a safe spot to the front left. Now, I mentioned there are 6 possible patterns. For each pattern, there is a corresponding safe spot on the front half of the arena. So here, the one we just saw is the front left safe spot. There is a front right safe spot, a side left safe spot, a side right safe spot, and then a safe spot on each of the front corners. There are corresponding safe spots on the rear half of the arena. I'm not going to focus on them for the purposes of this video, since you can and usually will want to dodge in the front safe spots. So these are our safe spots. The interesting part of this mechanic that's like a little bit cheeky and massively reduces the complexity is that where the initial safe spot is for the first set of cleaves dictates where the follow-up safe spots can be. Namely, if we take as an example, if the cleaves leave a front right safe spot, the follow-up safe spots cannot be in the right-hand corner. So they would have to be in the front left, which reduces it down from 6 possible safe spots down to 3. So what we can do is we can position ourselves on this corner, looking in. These are all the possible X spawn points. And these are the possible directions they can cleave. Now we can eliminate half of these and not even worry about them, because they are cleaving spots which we do not care about. We only care about the 3 possible safe spots on this little corner that we've identified. So if we plug in an example pattern, what do we have to do? Well, if we look down each of the 3 channels that could possibly cleave the safe spot, we can check that this middle channel, well, that has 2 stars, so that's cleaving this corner safe spot, so that can't be our safe spot. We look at this star as cleaning the side safe spot. Therefore, we know that the safe spot has to be on the front left. So we eliminate those, and as we see when they explode, front left is our safe spot. Now we can apply this again with a different example, this time where the initial cleave leaves a front left safe spot, meaning we have to go to the front right corner for a possible safe spot. We look in, we see where the stars are. We see there's a star in this middle spot, a star in this side spot, only leaving the front right safe spot free of any cleaves. Now a final example, this time front right. So we go to the front left corner, we look in, we see there's a star on this outer side, a star on this inner side, and then down the middle there are no stars, so we know that's what our safe spot is. So effectively what we're doing here is we're eliminating via looking at the cleaves for the safe spots, and there's 1 remaining. Alternatively, you can look for where there are no X's if you're comfortable lining that up. Now I'm aware that some people are just going to find memorizing the 6 different patterns easier than trying to go through a thought process, so I'm going to run through them right now with a clip for each, showing what they look like in game. So we're going to start with the front right safe spot, and first up is the vertical curve. Starting from the south, we have this long vertical curve formed by the stars. This corresponds to the front right safe spot. Next up, we have the horizontal curve. Again, similar to the vertical curve, except obviously horizontal. And then if we explode it out, we'll see that the far right side is safe. Lastly, for this first set, we have the front and back, which is identified by there being an X right at the front and an X right at the back. It's also kind of a bit of the odd one out for this set of three. So here, when we explode them, we can see that this is the front right corner being safe. Next up, we have the front left safe spots. And we're going to start with the middle L. It should be fairly obvious why it's called the middle L. It's an L and it's in the middle. When these explode, it leaves the front left safe spot. Next up, we have the front L. This is the L, but slightly further to the front. You can identify this very easily by the fact that there's an X right up in the north of the boss. When it explodes, the far left is going to be safe. And lastly, we have the triangle. When this explodes, it will leave the front left corner safe. Now notice for both sets of three, the odd one out corresponds to the corner one. That might help with identifying the safe spot quickly. Hopefully that's been helpful for people. I've seen a couple of infographics and stuff being posted about, some of them missing some of the patterns or they're not quite accurate. So I figure an accurate, detailed guide that actually explains the thought process as well might be useful, right? Because some people are going to find the memorization useful for the different patterns. Some people are going to find the thought process useful. So hopefully this video helps both groups. So with that said, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you get a kill or farm more cleanly and win the mount on your first clear like I did.